I was born in Barley, Arkansas, a very small town 6 miles east of Fort Smith. The little town had one grocery store and a post office. Everything else had to be taken care of in Fort Smith. I was the oldest of 4 children when my mother died of cancer. My father remarried, and in time there were 6 more children added to the family. I attended the small 2-room Catholic school taught by the Sisters from St. Scholastica. From my earliest contact with the sisters, I seemed to have a desire to join them when I got old enough. Since we were a small parish, we did not have daily Mass. When I was in the 2nd and 3rd grades, the priest came only every other Sunday to say Mass. But every evening we prayed the family rosary. No matter how late it was in the evening, sometimes we fell asleep. In 1942, the government bought our homes to make the area into Camp Chaffee. My grandmother had around 80 to 100 acres of land and 5 houses. I lived in one of these houses, but we all had to move. After the army arrived, we had 2 masses every Sunday to accommodate the servicemen. After graduation from 8th grade, I started high school at St. Scholastica Academy, conducted by the Benedictine Sisters. I finished my freshman and sophomore year, and in my junior year I entered the convent as a postulant on August the 26th, 1946. There were 10 young women in my class. 7 of us were invested as novices on June the 24th, 1947. One of the group was too young and had to wait a year, and the other 2 young women returned home. The 2 years of being a novice were spent in study and helping with the numerous chores around the convent. We made temporary profession on June the 24th, 1949, and were assigned to various missions. I was 18 years old and was assigned to Prairie View, Arkansas to teach grades 1 to 4. This was another of our 2-room schools. I had just finished high school and had to work hard to stay ahead of the children. I also taught in McGee, Morson's Bluff, St. Boniface, in Fort Smith, Rogers, Hattieville, Altus, and Paris, all in Arkansas. I taught in Kansas City and Lebanon, Missouri, and in Nazareth and Amarillo, Texas. I collected college courses from Conway and West Stark in Fort Smith, and attended a number of summers in Quincy, Illinois. In the early 1960s, I attended Quincy College in Quincy, Illinois for a year and finished my bachelor's degree in elementary education. In the early 1970s, I attended one summer at Christian Brothers College in Moraga, California. I transferred to Loyola University in Chicago for a year and several summers. I gained a master's in religious education. I taught for 40 years, and most of this time was spent with 1st through 4th grades. In 1991, I retired from teaching and returned to the monastery in Fort Smith. In my mind, I had visions of what I would do when I retired. But we are sort of recycled into other jobs. For 5 years, I was the assistant to the retreat director at our retreat center. The last 12 years, I have been secretary to the prioress and the monastery. 5 years ago, I was asked to assume the added job of treasurer of the monastery. I have spent 65 years in the monastery, and I am glad I made this choice. There have been ups and downs through the years, but I'm glad I survived them. This is my home. I would encourage all young women who are interested in joining us to live a monastic life to do so. It's good.